You are the God who works wonders. You have made known your might among the peoples. Among the people.
Greetings to all gathered in spirit. Today, we will witness a powerful testament of faith. We'll follow the journey of a young lady who received God's abundant blessing because she chose to cling to His word, remaining unshakable even when the path was uncertain. Let's begin.
My name is Meghana, and today I want to share how God has made my life a living testimony and taught me to cling to His promises with unwavering faith. At the beginning of 2018, during our church's New Year service, we were given promise cards for the year. I took 4 cards, 3 spoke about blessings, and the 4th said, "I am the Lord who heals you," Exodus 15 verse 26. At that time I wondered why God had given me a promise about healing when my health was perfectly fine, and I wished I had received another promise related to blessings, not knowing what lay ahead. In April 2018, I was diagnosed with a cyst, and the doctors informed us that medication would not reduce it and that surgery was necessary. It was a very difficult time for my family, especially my mother, who was extremely worried. But I kept reminding everyone of the promise God had already given me. I encouraged my family not to fear, telling them that God had promised to heal me. I shared my surgery update with my friends and asked them to pray, confidently declaring that God had already spoken over my situation. A pastor also prayed for me and shared Isaiah 54 verse 17, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." He asked me to hold on to this promise and pray with faith. My surgery was scheduled for Tuesday, and I was admitted to the hospital on Monday. The Sunday before my surgery, I attended my regular church service. While returning home, I felt strongly led to enter a nearby church that I had never attended before. I went in and began to worship, and there I saw Isaiah 54 verse 17 written on the wall. God was confirming His word to me once again. During the surgery, the doctors had to remove half of my right ovary because the infection had spread. The surgery went well, and we offered a Thanksgiving prayer to God. 2 weeks later, my mother and aunt took me back to the hospital, saying the doctor wanted to discuss a diet plan. I felt uneasy but went along. This time, they took me to a different hospital. When we entered the doctor's cabin, he asked who the patient was. He assumed it was my mother or aunt and asked me to step outside. As I waited, I noticed his designation, oncologist. Not knowing the exact meaning, I searched it online and learned that an oncologist treats cancer. I was shocked. When my mother and aunt came out, they explained that the biopsy report of the removed cyst had come back positive for ovarian cancer. The doctor explained that because of my age, the infection could spread quickly and advised another surgery to check whether other organs were affected. If they were, they might have to remove them and follow up with chemotherapy. This news shattered my family. When I asked if I had cancer, they broke down. I tried to comfort them, saying God would take care of everything, but inside my heart was full of questions. I kept asking God, "Why me? Have I done something wrong?" I prayed, but I had no peace. That day, as was my habit, I read the verse on our daily calendar, and it said, "Before you pray, I have heard your prayers." That verse stopped me. I realized God was speaking directly to me. At that moment, I decided to surrender everything to Him. I told God that this was only a test of faith and that I would trust Him completely, believing that He would heal and restore me, just as He did for Job. We sought a second opinion at Base of Ataricum Hospital, The doctor explained that they would first perform a laparoscopy to check if the infection had spread. If it had, they would immediately proceed with major surgery and remove the affected organs. Listening to this was terrifying, but I reminded myself that my God is the King of Kings and the Doctor of Doctors. I chose to trust his promise over the doctor's words. 2 days later, I was admitted for my second surgery. God worked miraculously. The infection had not spread to any other organs. Only a laparoscopy was performed, and for safety, the remaining ovary was removed and sent for biopsy. While waiting for the reports, my uncle encouraged us with Nahum 1 verse 9, "Affliction shall not rise up the second time." We held on to this promise and prayed together. All my reports came back normal. Though chemotherapy was initially suggested, after discussion, the doctors decided it was unnecessary and advised only regular checkups every 3 months. From that day until now, I have not taken any medication. God protected me through every trial with his unfailing love. Even when fear and negative thoughts tried to enter my mind, God reminded me of his word and strengthened me. Looking back, I realize that God knew my weakness. That is why he gave me his promise even before the trial began, to prepare me and strengthen my faith. He guided me through every step. Earlier, I was very hesitant to speak in front of people because of my stammering. I often avoided sharing anything publicly. But today, God has turned my life into a living testimony. He gave me the courage and strength to stand before people and speak about his faithfulness. This is how God has protected me through his promises and continues to lead me in his work. All glory belongs to him.